Now that you have taken a lead to speak your truth with intimacy, and so being yourself is something that you are wanting. So you're wanted here, you have a home. You have a home, you own the body, the mind, and so you're in charge of your lovely destiny. That's where self empowered people are at with the lovely enlightenment soul age group. And some of you are enlightening, but you might not be in that enlightenment soul age group. You know forgiveness, and that's why on this lovely quest you have been able to achieve forgiving all your disowned parts of self. Excuse me, but I have eyes that are burning. So right now we're going to wait a minute as the drops that I put clear in. I'm not crying. I won't cry. Well, I might cry on screen. I don't know, but I haven't so far. Okay, so the aspects of you where the core belief of thought and feeling was I'm unlovable, I'm unwanted, you have been able to instead find that wisdom of self acceptance, of not dissipating and therefore becoming some yucky, stagnating energy that doesn't ever get to see the light of day. Your inner child adult is here with us, and so you don't have inner critic, outer critic. You have the inner growth mindset in the forefront. That's what we get to do here as you inspire your higher potential as a human being who knows how to forgive, always with an open heart. So you are worthy to be you, and so is every other person. And even when we have people who are not matching their highest potential, we don't tell them they're unworthy. They are worthy. We don't need to shame them. The empowered person knows how to forgive, and that's because we are walking with equanimity. So mindful living, spirituality living, and loving is when you are equanimous and your capacity to be here is a choice, is not a must. You don't need mindfulness practices. You want them. You don't need to do daily mindset. You want. Why? Because they have you growing more invigorated, more energized, because integration of the brain is what has this happening. As you welcome more of what life sends your way in this way of resiliency with your restorative embodiment, self-aware, accountable, and regulating body and mind. Okay, so you don't need to do yoga, but if you do yoga, it's a portfolio of ventral vagal toning exercises. That's why what people don't understand about what comes up is that the muscles, bones, and tissues, thank you, Peter Levine, store trauma charges. As Bessel van der Kolk also points out, your body stores trauma. So talking about it on screen without going to therapy, if you have a body that you've noticed has clinical dissociation, pseudo-aliveness, that's not really the greatest thing to do. And there's a lot of people that are doing that. They're educated, but they don't have eyes on their self. So they're not looking to learn about thyself. They're wanting to empower themselves. So they have mantles on. And so, again, we'll leave the ones who are not doing the healing to the side. There's enlightenment to be done here. And so daily practices are wanted because you embody both enlightenment with emotions and forgiveness. And your mind is also your partner. And so your forgiveness extends to your relationships and to all of those who have crossed your path and brought unwanted, unexpected, undesirable, heartbreaking events, as well as their own human suffering, adaptive child, or maladaptive child pattern of behaviors. And this has been recent with our full moon, lunar eclipse, and also consistent. So again, it's a consistency. It's not a one-time thing. It's an ongoing thing. That's what makes the empowerment journey so empowering. And the enlightening journey, so enlightening, is really fun. If the Zen master had joined us, he would know how to remember and to have this forgiveness business and to bring forth more enriching, because you create resiliency every time you put mindfulness, mindset, and mindset into practice when you're dealing with the unknowns, unwanted, unexpected from within with an open heart while going with the flow. Whose flow? Your flow. Being who? You, not me. Okay? That's the whole self. And so we look to the past as 5D mystic spiritual or mindful self-empowered people and enlightened people, and we say wow to our childhood, wow to our adolescence, and then wow to our adulthood. Not I have 10 say, wow, all of these events in life and all of these relationships and all of the things that I have had happen have brought me to embody and expand into what is my pure consciousness. Again, lovely Sadhguru talks about aliveness. Let me share with you what his quote is before continuing with the message. The foremost thing is to make individual human beings into living temples. If that happens, change will happen in the world. So, the Enlightenment Soul Age group, we are the ones who go beyond spirituality. And I love that Sadhguru's out there, but he doesn't incorporate all of the embodiment of when you take ownership of your humanity. So hearing a living temple makes a person think to have to do yoga, to have to do, I didn't do any of it. I have Jesus and God. And then I have Maria, meaning that I got to choose how to bring myself forth in my everyday. My thoughts, my emotions. I own my sense of self. I own my narrative. I own my core. I own my relational. And whenever somebody says, you can't know yourself, yes, I can. I own this. It's my body. Oh, and it's my mind. And I own it in a way of understanding, though, that I have a 14-month-old and a 3-year-old, so subjective experience. This is where equanimity and integrity, okay? So you'll present yourself with what is called integration of the brain and a restorative embodiment when you're this liveness. The alive people know this, which is why you'll be coming back for more. The pseudo-alive people, they won't know this. They will consistently do something different. And I'm going to just leave that to the side. So, Dr. Daniel Siegel, integration made visible, kindness and compassion, he says. He says the road to integration can be incredibly energizing because what you are doing is helping someone to heal and bringing out into the world the love and connection that is the birthright for all of us. Life as we move together to create more integration in our world. And that's because you're a securely attached whole self with a 1-year-old that's whole, with a 3-year-old that's whole, and your teenager's not leading. The fight response is not what you're doing. That's a narrow state of consciousness. Those are all adaptive child parts in people. So their adaptive child pattern of behaviors / maladaptive is the fucking, drinking, drugging business, the I have scars all over the place business, the inner critic, outer critic business, and that's where they will consistently be handling themselves there. So for them, forgiveness looks like this. I forgave a lot of people. Yeah, you know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You know, to enlighten, you really have to, mystics, the light workers, we have to have. So anytime I hear that, I'm like, okay, you sound like you have a cape on. And they will have superhero and supervillain capes. They say their supervillain is their shadow, and that's how they welcome all their disowned parts. That's not how you welcome yourself. It's how you basically use it and don't moderate or empower your emotional plane, because you're doing nothing with the squirrel attitude from Cusco land, which makes me be aware of that. So when you're aware of what the most precious thing is, which is life itself, you're not going to use shadow and light. You're going to be like, here's my name, and here's who I am. Nice to meet you. Okay, so the whole self of you is welcome back. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you here. And your infinite higher human conscious potential experiences, you're ready to roll on out with that in your life and with your relationships. That's why you do know how all people are flawed and imperfect, but we bring the best version of ourselves, which is a enlightened and enlightening, consistently forgiving human being who creates, every time a decision is brought forth, you create more of the passion that you want, not society. You're the inner child adult. You're not perfect, but your perfection is that you put every one of those hands and feet into action with this healthy self-worth. Not, the world, it weighs on me. I'm trying to make sure every person. So when you hear that tone, you're going to know that that's a person who's not on a journey with the wisdom of the heart. It's a person who's still seeking to be told that they're doing a great job. And that's not an inner child adult. That's an inner child who could make use of a Terry Real and a Patrick Teahan so that they could learn to love their self first, get into healthy self worth, know that perfectionism doesn't exist from here, and that anytime you're being brought a decision, that you get to be self empowered. That's why you do this. I'm empowered, Maria. Yes, you can be empowered too. Life hits you by surprise. It's okay. I'm going to not be hit. What's up, life? What am I going to learn today? And you'll get to learn how to stay in the flow. And that's why the inner growth mindset is for those who are open hearted and open minded and forgiving and enlightening. The 5D mystics, we walk a walk and talk a talk with spirituality and mindfulness. So do the 5D collective people who are not mystics, they're secular. And we are aware, accountable, regulating. So day-to-day practices, talking about restorative embodiment and flow state is on the menu consistently. Seen, soothed, safe, and secure to be our authentic self. And with those relationships, they will also be authentic. So one life to live. We live it well now and not tomorrow. And we'll be back with more. Thanks for stopping by. Like, share, and subscribe. And if you know anyone who's interested in these types of conversations and funny stories, mentorship as well, we have a masterclass, and I am organizing spiritual retreats and rolling out in the future. And that's with the mindfulness and mindset practices and mindset, but also as an Akashic record reader, Reiki master, so holistic practitioner, we also have that within the mix of things. And I haven't organized it in a way to say what it will be, but you can email me and ask me questions. And when it comes to one-to-one mentorship, that's obviously where we decide those aspects of what parts of the toolkit that I have to offer you're going to be interested in addition to your personal development journey, which I will say I take it very seriously. So people who want to work with me, one-to-one mentorship, it is not a one-moment deal. It will be something that is over time, and I have not decided if it's going to be 3 or 6 months or a whole 12 months, but it's going to be something like that. If you're looking for a one-stop shop, that's not what this is. Then you just come here, join the membership content on YouTube. That's where you can get, for whatever the opportunities will be, that'll be your best bet. So just wait till we get YouTube with membership content. For our audio, we already have audio alone, although I'm starting to wonder about that one. So I'm going to wait for next episodes to shout out more about this stuff. Thank you again for stopping by. Have a great one.